Well, today we're up here on the lawn of the Haldeman Mansion in Bainbridge, PA, up along the Susquehanna River, and they're having an Indian Day up here, celebrating some of the Native American customs, ways, history, and techniques. So we're going to go around and try and give you an idea of some of the things that are happening.
Every piece of land was bought. Maybe they cheated them in doing it, but as far as they bought it. Every tree they actually bought. And it wasn't until the French and Indian War forced the people in Pennsylvania to have a militia. When the French and Indian War in the mid-1700s came in from up here and started moving around west of the Susquehanna. When the French and Indian War started to come into our area, in this area here, then the Quakers, they kept such a pressure on the Quakers in the Pennsylvania legislature that they quit. They all resigned. And as soon as they resigned, Pennsylvania had a militia. They also passed.
And the rum was one of the things that was, they would drink it and make bad decisions of trade, because the Indians, what happened here in the 1600s, the European trappers and traders came over and discovered that our land was rich with fur-bearing animals, and Europe had almost been eradicated, by hunters and trappers at that point, and furs were still in they really liked furs for the coats and beaver hats and everything. So they found out the natives knew really easy how to snare the animals, and so they engaged them in, you go out and get me the furs and we'll trade some neat things. Well, here come these big piles of pelts in, and you get a couple bead bells, a couple beads, copper pots, a bottle of rum, in trade for pots, in trade for the pelts. Well, soon all the animals in your hunting area are gone. You've hunted them. Actually, Switzerland, his son John came back. And then his son Samuel.
This is some of the material on the Haldeman Mansion, what they're trying to do, preserve it. Some of the material found around the site. Information on the Indians, as well as the various states of repair. Some of the old pictures of the mansion. Here you can see more of the beautiful architectural style, the way it was built, the exposed areas, showing the techniques used in building this. Here's a view of the back side of the mansion. Doors, windows.
I don't know about the radiator or not, it might be.
No, it's not. It's freeze dried.
We're talking about, the different medicines you can and different medicines that went through you. The ones who was like, well, how much of it, I mean, is safe? So, well, you can't really look at that.
It looks like we're coming across another collector here that's brought some artifacts to show. So I think we're going to go up there and take a look at some of those.
You've been an archaeologist.
No, she wants to be a history teacher.
What's wrong with
at
getting getting down to your knees with a trowel. There ain't nothing wrong with that, is there, Tom?
Absolutely, that's the best job around.
Archaeology.
Yeah, by the time you're 20, you can't even stand up straight. Your back's too messed up.
She can't live my dream for me.
If you want any simple knowledge on having your own web.
In general and rock art in our area. It's a lot easier to call it rock art than petroglyphs. The technical term is petroglyphs. And I'm here today in large part due to work that was done by this guy back in the 1930s. Yeah. Who was Donald Cadzow, and when they were getting ready to build Safe Harbor Dam in the 30s, they decided to come down and study the petroglyphs because a lot of them were going to be covered by the waters that were impounded by the dam. So Donald Cadzow was there in the 1930s. It turns out that after he finished his study, people sort of forgot about the petroglyphs. And by my time, in the 70s, not very many people even knew that they were still.
Well, this is a hand-on event. So as you can see, people here have a chance to make their own petroglyphs on rock. Unfortunately not by chiseling them out, but by painting them. So at least they can get a feel of what it looks like. And of course, a lot of information on this also is available. Making pottery, baking it the old way. This is flint-knapper Bob. He's going to show us how to do some flint-knapping.
Better on certain types of stone, and this dogwood seemed to work really good on quartzite. And I've seen a lot of other knappers use dogwood on quartzite too. I've got a limb. Steve said it wasn't thick enough for him. I would have gave him some. It was a deadfall out of some persimmon trees on the property I work on in the evenings, a farm I work on. Persimmon trees are getting harder to find. And I don't want to cut them. I'm not going to ask my boss to cut some live off of them. I was happy with it. It was a big, about a 6-foot branch that fell out of one of the trees over the winter. And it's about this big around at the bottom, maybe a little narrow. So I'm going to cut it. I think I can get, Steve said he thinks I can get about 2 billets out of the end of it. It sounded good, but nothing happened.
What's the stone you're using?
This is quartzite.
Quartzite.
I don't know where it's from. I think it's probably Jack Preston's stuff. This is some stuff Barry probably got from Jack. Jack loves to play with quartzite. We coined the masochistic flint knapper because he works the hardest stone you can possibly work.
You take his course?
No, none of Jack's. I've met him numerous times. He's a great. I love him as a human being. He's a great guy. Really full of information. Really great public guy.
I weakened that a little bit, and I'll see if she'll go for it. Try to get it again. That's what I was trying to do right there, is release that. Got him. Yeah, that worked. That took that heavy spot off and brought the edge up more to center. Actually, that looks a lot better already. And there you go. You're welcome. Some of it crumbled off. It's right there. Yeah, some of it crumbled right here.
Well, with the Susquehanna River in the background, we're going to be calling it a day and ending this video. Nice event. You'll have a chance to see more of this, hopefully, in the future.